If you've been following my channel from the start, you will have watched me build for 6 years in my Denver shop without a table saw outfeed table. I always intended to upgrade the flip-up table that I had in my old shop to something better, like a nice supplementary workbench space behind the saw, but there were two problems that held me back. First, workbenches always tend to fill up with stuff over the course of a project, which gets in the way of saw cuts. And secondly, as dumb as this sounds, the dados cut halfway through the workbench to make room for the tracks of a sled or a miter gauge. That always bugged me, so between those two, I just never built one. After I finished my standing desk, which you can see here, it turned out awesome and everyone in the comments agrees, my wife asked if FlexiSpot would do another sponsored video with me so I could build a desk for my son. So that's what I'm building here, but I also asked for a second standing desk base because it dawned on me that it could solve both of the problems that I had with a table saw outfeed table workbench. And that will be the main course of this video after we finish this desk for my son. As you can see, I'm still exploring what can be done with OSB. I started the same way as my desk by painting it black, but then instead of sanding to reveal the individual wood chips, I scraped on white paint to fill the low spots and highlight the same texture. And similar to my experience with my desk, this proved more elusive and tricky than expected. Too much of the white paint stuck to the black and grayed it out. And I also ended up with a denser streak of white paint in the center that doesn't really look good. I started going down the path of refining the technique and was gearing up to try again, but I'm really glad I didn't. My son and I just used the first attempt as a backdrop to go to town with paint markers. Spent a good solid hour just doodling on this desk. It was really fun, and it's soon to be immortalized after the epoxy is poured on it, and I think he'll get a kick out of working on the surface and this fond memory of doing this project with his dad. So if you're looking for a project to do with a child, I would highly recommend making a doodle desk for them and with them.
Okay, Dad, I think we're done.
Cap the markers and walk away?
Yep.
All right, dude. Is that mommy in there?
Mm-hmm.
You're a sweetheart. So Lincoln, is your desk finished at this point?
Yes.
Is it really finished?
No.
What does Daddy need to do to it?
I forgot.
I need to put the epoxy on it, but I needed to make this video, so I had to do kind of a trial run. All right, so let's see how you do the working sitting. Good? All right, put it up to its height for standing. This is FlexiSpot's E1 frame, which is their budget model with a surprisingly good price point, but still quite nice and solid. Link in description if you want to check that out. How's that for standing? Good? All right. So I'm going to have to take it back apart and finish the edges and do the epoxy, but I think it's almost done. Okay, enough of this OSB stuff. Let's stock up on some hardwood to make that outfeed table with FlexiSpot's beefiest 350-pound capacity dual motor E7 standing desk base. Covering this whole build in one video got to be a little too much, so I'm going to have to do a part 2 to show how I finish off the workbench. But can anyone guess what this sliding part is for? How about wrong answers only? I use these clamping calls quite a bit, and I actually covered making them in a video way back when I just started my channel. It should be popping up in the top right. You can skip to minute 8:20, 8 minutes and 20 seconds, if you just want to watch the building of these clamping calls. Time to put the base together, and I have to say I really am quite impressed with this E7 FlexiSpot frame. It's even more solid than the E3 that I have as my desk, and I was already really happy with that one. There are a lot more features than I can go over on this video, but pause here to read them off of this comparison chart. I could have gotten away without building these leg extensions, but I never needed the table to go just below the surface of the table saw. So any travel below that was just kind of wasted otherwise. And in the second video, I'll show how adding these extensions kind of helps with storage and a few other things that I want to do. It'll be more obvious why this was worth doing. So outfeed table functionality achieved. And the sled tracks are hitting the outfeed. Not a problem, and no need for dados. Just set the height slightly lower, and now the tracks clear the table, but are still supported by the table. And if you have junk on the workbench, just one click to clear that out of the way. And yes, as of right now, raising the table like this to get that stuff out of the way means that I lose my outfeed support. In the second video, I'll take care of that, so I've still got support when the table is all the way up. Subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications when that comes out, and I'll see you then.
Me, my dad, my mom, being all together.
Nice.
And my dad drew a snail.
I did draw a snail.
I drew Minecraft and Charizard, and a dinosaur and Mewtwo.
I don't know what Mewtwo is.
It's a some people do. It's a legendary Pokemon. Let's go Eevee and let's go Pikachu.
Ah, cool.